If you're starting completely from scratch and you only have $500 to spend on an entire PC gaming setup, then I got you covered. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to Zach's Tech Turf. If you haven't heard me say this already, I've been streaming over on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you over there. But before that, today we have yet another full PC gaming setup guide, this time for only $500. And if you're new here and you want to see other full PC gaming setup guide videos just like this one, then hit the subscribe button down below and also that notification bell. That way you never miss an episode. But yeah, let's check all this out after a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by my personal favorite remote monitoring and managing solution, Pulseway. Pulseway is a platform that allows you to completely control and monitor all of your systems inside your network, which is not only great for bigger businesses, but even for people like me with my YouTube studio. And the best part is that you can do everything from your mobile device. I have servers and PCs all around my house, and with Pulseway, I can easily remote desktop into any of them. Maybe I want to start up a game update like Call of Duty before I get home. That way when I arrive, it's good to go. I can also get a snapshot of current system statuses such as temperatures of all my hardware components. I can see the resource usage, manage Windows updates, keep all my third-party apps up to date, and I can even create custom workflows to automate mundane IT tasks. I've been using Pulseway for over a year now, so I can actually recommend it, and you can get an account for free for personal use by using the link down in the description, or you can check out their business version, which has the most functionality. Alright, so jumping straight into it, we do have this $300 gaming PC that I already made a dedicated video on, so we'll briefly touch up on that last, but for now let's dive into the peripherals. Because I can't contain my excitement any longer, I want to talk about this mouse. This is the Cooler Master MM710, and this is honestly my newfound love. The MM710 only weighs 53 grams with its honeycomb cutout, not wasting any extra weight with plastic, and we're definitely seeing this change in meta these days with these super light gaming mice. I actually said in my last full setup guide that I wasn't a fan of these super ultra light gaming mice, but clearly I just wasn't rocking the right one, because this is honestly like my new favorite mouse of all time. The MM710 only cost me $40 brand new off Amazon. It's rocking a 16,000 DPI sensor, 2 buttons on the side, which is great for something like chucking a grenade or meleeing somebody, and then the feet at the bottom are ridiculously smooth to glide around all over your mouse pad. Speaking of which, this mouse pad is certainly something else that's got me excited, as it's the first RGB pad that I've ever actually had down here in my studio, and for 18 bucks off Amazon, I can't imagine that it gets much better than this. The brand is called Game Excel, and the RGB gets its power from a micro USB port, and you simply tap your finger up here to scroll through the different colors. I would assume that fancier RGB mouse pads have a little bit more customization than that, but for $18, you really can't complain about it, and it just ties our entire black and blue setup together quite nicely. It's 32 inches long and 12 inches wide, which is a perfect size for both your keyboard and mouse, especially if you're rocking a 10 keyless design board, which in fact we are today. This is the EagleTech KG040, which only cost me $29, but I gotta be honest, this is my least favorite part of the setup. I originally bought this because I'm digging these 87 key size boards lately. It's also actually fully mechanical, which is tough to find at this price point, but at the end of the day, I really just don't like these switches. It's advertised as a quote clicky blue switch, and it's certainly loud and clicky, but I don't like the springy feeling and sound that it gives. Hopefully I can capture it in this video. Not sure if you could tell what I'm saying there, but I almost hear a faint springy sound at the end of every tap, and I really just never got used to it. For under 30 bucks and in a $500 full PC gaming setup guide, it's really not that bad of an option, especially if you actually need a fully mechanical switch. It's even rocking blue lighting, so it fits together quite nicely, but I'm just really not digging these switches. One thing that I'm definitely a fan of, however, is this Amazon Basics black and blue gaming headset. This was definitely a shocker of the group. I definitely didn't expect much from this product at only 30 bucks, but it's surprisingly way more comfortable than I thought it would be. The ear cups are that super soft mesh feeling, so you can wear them for extended periods of gaming. There's an inline volume adjustment knob with a mute button. It's somewhat flexible and doesn't have a super cheap feel to it, and overall I think the gaming aesthetic isn't too over the top and it matches our theme perfectly. The microphone and audio quality isn't that great, but you should expect that. Overall, I think in a $500 setup, it's perfectly fine and definitely good enough for us. Wrapping up the peripherals of the setup, we get to the monitor, and this thing is absolutely no stranger to the channel. This is the Acer SB220Q, which you may be getting sick and tired of watching in my build guides. For just $90, it's so hard to not include this in my budget setups because you're getting a 1080p IPS 75Hz panel with tiny modern bezels at such a great price. It's hard to recommend anything else. I have a full dedicated review on this thing in my best gaming monitor under $100 video if you want to see more information. And to wrap everything up, we're going to circle back to the PC. This is a $300 completely used build, and I actually assembled it on a Twitch live stream, by the way, twitch.tv/ZachsTechTurf. And although this is all used parts, it's completely repeatable because I didn't use any crazy once in a lifetime deals or anything. I recommend checking out the full video that I'll have linked down in the description and the upper right hand corner, but for a quick recap, this is rocking an Intel i5 3570, 8GB of DDR3 RAM clocked at 1600 MHz, an XFX RX 580, and all of that's inside this DIY PC DIY S07 case. For some quick benchmarks, in Fortnite in 1080p Pro settings, I got 146 FPS, Rainbow Six Siege in 1080p very high got 143 FPS, Modern Warfare Warzone in 1080p normal can reach 97 FPS, and even in the demanding Borderlands 3 in 1080p medium, I got 61 FPS. Accounting for those benchmarks, for $500, this entire setup is packing some insane price to performance, and we didn't even settle for those ridiculously obnoxious and cheap peripherals. I'm not incredibly happy with the EagleTech keyboard, but I think our monitor and the MM710 gaming mouse more than make up for that, and honestly, who can squeeze an RGB mousepad in a $500 setup? Now, there's a very real chance by the time you're watching this video that some of these products aren't in stock, or maybe you just weren't vibing with some of them, so I do want to include some alternatives, and I'll have all of these linked down in the description as well. The first one is the keyboard, which is honestly probably the most worthy of an upgrade in my opinion, and I would consider going to the Red Dragon K552. For the monitor, if you can't find the SB220Q, you could always go with a little bit more expensive Acer Nitro VG220Q. And finally, for the headset, if you're looking for something a bit nicer, there's these Turtle Beach Recon 70s that'll still match our blue color scheme. Before wrapping up, just want to give the Discord channel another quick plug. We have by far the best Discord community in the TechTuber game, and I'm in there literally all day, every day, so check out the invite link in the description if you're interested in that.